very powerful with you. I want to talk about what I titled three fundamental elements that triggers the hand and the help of God. Three fundamental elements that triggers the hand and the help of God. Now, God does not just answer prayers because He's God. It's something that you must understand. God does not just answer prayers because He's God. And God does not just come for mass intervention because He is God. Something must attract God. Something must attract the mind of God. And if these three fundamental elements are not in place, no matter the cry that you are crying, no matter what you are saying, it will not move God. Now, these three fundamental elements are very important as far as Christianity is concerned. Number one, because these three, they work hand in hand. These three fundamental elements, they work hand in hand. The first element that triggers the hand of God is the element of love. I call it the element of love. It is the first element that triggers the hand of God, the element of God. The number two element, I call it the element of favor. The element of grace. The number two element is the element of grace, and the number three element is the element of mercy. Now, let me explain one after the other. Let's pick the element of love. Now, when we're talking about the element of love, if you read John chapter 3 in verse 16, the Bible says, "For God so loved the world that He gave." Now, the first thing that happened, that God loved the world. If there is no love, there is no giving. We were meant to understand the basic thing about love is giving. Love talks about giving. Now, when we talk about God, God's nature is the nature of love. So, for men to do business with God, the love of God must be available. The Bible says He loves us even before we love Him. So the first thing that triggers God to call for mass rescue is the love element, the love of God. The love of God be shared on our share to everyone experiencing the love. This is the first element that makes us to move, that triggers the help, that triggers the hand of God in the life of the man. Love. Let's talk about the number two element, which is the element of grace. Now, the Bible said in the book of Titus chapter 2 in verse 11, it said the grace that brings salvation has appeared to all men. What is salvation? Salvation talks about deliverance from the molestation of the devil. So the grace that brings salvation, that brings deliverance, preservation has appeared to all men. So when we talk about the element of grace, this is what God looks before God can before God can rescue a man. The grace of God must be available. No wonder Michael Smith said, he said, "Your grace has found me just as I am." It's not who I am. It's not because of what I am. It's not because of what I can do, but your grace found me just as I am. So the element of grace is one of the fundamental elements when man, even in the salvation of man, it was grace that was at work in the life of man. You know, there are levels of grace. We have a grace, a great grace. We have the grace that brings salvation. We have let me stop there. So in those grace, so we talk about grace. Grace is the basic fundamental element when God wants to come for man's rescue. The grace of God is at work. Imagine the Bible says Noah found grace in the sight of God. You see, in the Bible they say so person found grace in the sight of God. But when Noah found grace in the sight of God, he escaped the flood. Why? Because grace was at work. We probably say that when there's no grace, it is grace. So grace, when grace is at work, men experience the hand and the help of God. The number three things, which is the element of mercy. Mercy say, "No, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you slip away." You know that song? Now, element of mercy. When the mercy of God is at work, it triggers God to call for mass help. Nothing moves God than mercy. You see, in New Testament, you hear the people that Jesus, like the brother Timothy said, "Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy upon me." Before Jesus could heal, you see the Bible will record that Jesus showed compassion or that Jesus showed mercy. These are the very things. God must come for mass intervention, mercy, grace, and the love of God. These three things must be at work for God to come for mass intervention. The Lord bless you. Thank you for joining me. The Lord bless you.